Jaden Sancho puts down his PS5 controller and replaces it with a pair of football boots, finally. Spurs complete on a defender that both Forest were interested in and that Bayern tried to hijack in the last minute. And will Arteta trigger a release fee clause on a midfielder that he is very keen on? Welcome to the Footy News. Good afternoon, guys. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to your transfer roundup for the Premier League and what's been going on in the last 24 hours or so. And we've got to kick it off with Jaden Sancho because Dortmund have pulled down Man United's pants yet again, and the United fan base are trying to sell this off like it's some great deal. United, who paid over 70 million for Jaden Sancho from Dortmund a couple of seasons ago, who absolutely flopped in the Premier League and has spent the last 6 months or so in exile from the club, just chilling on his PS5 playing FIFA. He has now been moved back. He's done a full U-turn and gone home to Dortmund, where he's going to have to put on a pair of boots and actually play some football. Now, as part of this deal, Manchester United are getting paid about £3 to £3.5 million, and they will still have to cover his wages. But can Sancho reignite his footballing career back where he made his name in the first place, having moved there from Manchester City? Time will tell. But don't believe what the United fan base are telling you. They're still paying for part of his wages and there's still 70 million in the hole on him, irregardless of how they spend the money they're saving on wages. Well, let me ask them this. Manchester United fans, is this a good deal for you or not? And at the end of the loan period, aren't you back to square one with Sancho? Because there's no option to buy or obligation on this one. Get your thoughts in down below. Radu Dragusin from Genoa has completed his move to Tottenham Hotspur. The Romanian defender, who was heavily linked to Nottingham Forest a few weeks ago and to Tottenham, has decided to go to Tottenham, not ahead of Forest, but ahead of Bayern. A last-minute hijack attempt from Bayern was tabled yesterday, but it wasn't enough to draw him away from the lure of London and the Premier League. As part of this deal, Jaden Sancho has gone the other way on loan, with a potential option to buy on the table, but no obligation to buy. Is the Romanian centre-back, who has been making waves in Serie A this season, ready for the Premier League? Well, Ange Postecoglou seems to think 100% yes. And, as I mentioned, there were a fair few clubs in and around sniffing for the centre-back. But the interesting point here is, although Bayern tried to hijack it, it's starting to clearly become obvious that the Premier League's lure is way, way higher than any of the 4 other major European leagues in football. So, will he flop? Will he not? From what I've seen of him, he's a decent player. Still young, still raw, will have to get up to the pace of the Premier League. And if you're a Forest fan, he has a man bun like Felipe used to have. So that probably makes him good anyway. But if you're a Spurs fan, get your thoughts in down below. And were you glad that Jaden Sancho went the other way on this deal? What do you think? And Arsenal is starting to become active in the transfer market as Mikel Arteta is contemplating whether or not to trigger the release fee clause on Zubimendi. The 24-year-old CDM or CM, he plays quite deep in that midfield, may be on Arteta's radar right now. But is he what Arsenal need? They've already got Partey, who's obviously injured. You got Rice, who can play in that position. You got Jorginho, Vieira in there. Not the good Vieira, obviously. Should they not be focusing on a striker? Is the recruitment process at Arsenal, is it time to question it? Have they made solid recruits when, as a non-Arsenal fan looking from the outside in, for me it is clear and has been for a while that Arsenal need an out-and-out number 9, a goal hanger, old school style, someone who can put the ball in the net. Yes, Gabriel Jesus is a decent attacker, but is he an out-and-out 9? Not for me. And with the headache they have with Kai Havertz, where does he play? Is he a midfielder? Is he a false 9? Is he this? Is he that? For me, he's a sub player. They need to address this number 9 position. So Arsenal fans, are you willing to spend £50 million on another midfielder? Or should you be gathering up all your coppers and maybe looking at the likes of someone like Ivan Toney or even Solanke from Bournemouth? surely they would be better options for you. Get your thoughts in, Arsenal fans, down below. That rounds up your breaking headline stories for today on the Footy News in the Premier League. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you are new, and we'll see you on the next one.